everybody, and welcome to my first video. I'm first going to start out with using my Naked Skin Concealer. I'm putting this all over my lid, and I'm just dabbing that out with my finger until, as you see, I put way too much on my right eyelid. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe blending sponge, damp of course, and I'm just going to blend that out. Now the first shadow we're going to go in with is Peach Smoothie by MakeupGeek. And I'm going to use that with a Morphe M533, which is just a really fat blending brush. And I'm just going to blend that from inner all the way to outer corner in no particular fashion. I'm just blending it everywhere so that whatever shadows we go in with later will blend seamlessly. And as you see, I am literally just smoking that out all over the lid. We do this also so that whatever shadows you go in with later, whether they're dark or light, you won't see any harsh lines. Now I'm going to go in with the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm going to be using that really light shimmery purple with the same Morphe M533 brush. And I'm just going to go from inner all the way to outer corner. We're really going to make sure that we smoke that out. And you want to focus this on a little bit lower on the lid than where we put this peach smoothie. I'm going to go in small windshield wiper motions, and then when we get to the outer corner, you'll see that I'm doing small circular motions. Whenever you do this, when you go in initially with one color, you want to do windshield wiper motions to really get that pigmentation on your eyelid, and then you want to take small circular motions to really blend out that edge. I'm going to do the exact same thing to the left eye, but I'm going to speed it up because obviously you just watched what I did on the right eye. Well, technically my left, your right. So anyway, again, I'm just inner corner to outer corner, and then I am blending that out, really smoking it out. And then I am going to go in with that darker shade. And I am going to use my M441 brush by Morphe. I had to think about that for a second. And I am just going to go and put that a little bit lower than where we put the purple, the lighter purple. And I'm really focusing that pigment on top of the ball of my eye. If you open your eye, if you don't really know where your crease is, just open your eye and follow the top of your eyeball and really smoke it in that socket. I'm doing the same thing with my brush, the same technique. Inner corner to outer corner, windshield wiper motions, and then when I get to the outer parts, I'm doing small circular motions to smoke that out. You can smoke it in whichever direction you want to ensure that you get the eye shape that you want. I was just kind of going for a more rounder eye shape since I'm going in with glitter later and I'm doing a cut crease, but you can do whatever you want. Next, I'm going to go in with my MAC 217 brush. It's very similar to the M441, but it's just a little bit shorter haired and it's more dense and it picks up product. A little bit heavier than the brush before, and I'm really packing that into the crease, and I'm doing it a little bit lower than the lighter purple we used. And I'm kind of blending it onto the lid. You don't really have to because it's not going to matter later once we put the concealer on our lid for our cut crease. But I'm just really making sure that I pack it in there. I'm not being any kind of neat with it, and you'll see why in just a few seconds. But I'm going from inner corner all the way to outer corner. Every color you see me use is what I'm going to do. Inner corner to outer corner and smoke it out. You'll see at the very end, all of those purples blend in so well. And that peach smoothie that we used in the beginning isn't really going to show up, but we're just putting it in there for good faith and hoping that it'll, keep everything very smooth in the end. Which is why I went in from a bigger brush to a smaller brush to a smaller brush. Because the darker colors you go, the more intense and packed on you're going to want those colors to be. And you can't get that same effect with a fat brush. Now I'm using the same brush, and I am just going to go in with that dark black color at the very bottom of the Morphe palette. And I am putting that at the very, very bottom of my crease. And I'm blending it right on top of that purple from inner to outer corner. You don't want to bring that black up too high, and that's the reason I'm putting it very, very low in my crease. Because the higher you go, the more you can look like you have a black eye, and we definitely don't want that. So I am just keeping that very, very low. And this time with this color, I am doing very, very, very light brush strokes. Because you don't want this, once you put a dark color in your eye, if you pack it on there too harshly, it's going to be really hard to blend that out, and you're going to have harsh lines no matter how many transition shades you put on before that. So you really, really want to take your time blending this out. And as you see, again, I'm just speeding that up because you just watched what I did on the left eye. Next, I'm going to take that Naked Skin Concealer, And this is what I'm going to use to cut my crease. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to take any flat brush. And this brush is just a cheap elf brush that I found at the thrift store a few years back. And I am just dipping into that concealer, and I'm drawing out my cut crease. Now, again, it's not going to matter about the eyeshadows on your lid. I am getting so tongue-tied. It's not going to matter how many shadows are on your lid because you're just putting concealer straight over that. And you can take this cut crease as high or as low as you want. If you have very hooded eyes, I would suggest making your own crease, which with cut creases is very, very simple. You'll just take the concealer and place it a little bit above where your natural crease would be to make your eyelid look a little bigger. And now if you have very sunken in eyelids, this is perfect for those of you who have very defined eyes and very defined creases, because it's so incredibly easy to tell where your crease is and where to put that concealer. As for me, I don't have a very defined eye, but I have a very large lid, so it's easy for me to make room for all of that concealer. And I'm literally just taking the brush, I'll draw out where I want my cut crease to be, and then I'll just fill in the blanks. It can be kind of hard if you have really wrinkly eyelids, or, you know, just depending on your skin. I have really wrinkly eyelids. Not saggy, but very wrinkly. So it was kind of difficult for me to, you know, use that brush to do my cut crease. That brush is very old, so I have to go over it time and time again to get that line really straight. But once I got it straight, I went in with the NYX glitter glue and just some loose glitter that I got from Michaels. And I will say that this glitter is not very pleasant to work with. It was very hard to get off of my face. I've used it quite a few times, but I usually don't use that much. But for this cut crease, I covered the entire lid. And cut creases are very beautiful with glitter. But this glitter is very chunky. It's very flat, and it likes to stick to the skin. So if you want to do a cut crease with this kind of glitter, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get a very, very good makeup remover, or that you use a very light glitter glue, because if not, you're going to be spending hours scraping this glitter off my face like I did, or off of your face like I did. So anyway, I'm just literally packing this everywhere that we put the concealer, and you want to just use any flat brush for that. Obviously, you don't want to use an eyeshadow brush because that glitter is going to fall all in between your bristles, but with a flat brush, it's really easy to just pick up the glue, stick it in the glitter, put it on your lid, and you're good to go. Okay, so I'm clearly doing the same thing on the other eye. I should have sped this up a little bit more. But yeah, you're just taking the glue off the back of your hand, packing it on there, following that cut crease, packing the glitter on. Now you will see further in this video that there are some spots that are missing a little bit of glitter, but like I said before, this glitter is very, very chunky, and when you get to those really defined spaces that are really hard to put glitter on, with that glitter being so chunky, it was really hard for me to pick it up and to lay it down. So some of those parts are going to be a little bit bare. You'll see me going back and forth between a really small define brush and my flat brush that I was using before. Again, this glitter just didn't really work that well for me. So now I'm going to go in with the Becca Backlighting Primer filter, and I'm going to mix it with the Elsie Pearl Radiance Primer. You don't have to use two primers like I did. I just felt like being a little high maintenance for this video, and using as many products as I could. Also, these are two of my favorite primers anyway. They're very, very radiant. They give a wonderful glow to the skin. They make my skin very, very smooth. They don't really smooth out fine lines and pores, but they do help my makeup to glide on and reduce the appearance of my fine lines and pores, which is great. And then I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Stick. And I am in the shade Warm Ivory, I believe. Now in this video, it does look like it's a little bit kind of almost like a green tone on my skin. My boyfriend just got me new lighting, so it's, you know, still trying to play with it a little bit, but this is my skin shade. Again, I'm very olive tone complected, so this is the shade that I went with. I am blending that out with a fat Morphe brush, and this is the M439 foundation brush. I've had this brush for a really long time, and I never really liked it because I usually use liquid foundation, and I felt like it left my foundation looking a little bit streaky. But now that I've been using this Hourglass, I've been spraying a little bit of Fix Plus on it, and it has been blending my makeup out amazingly. So that is what I use now. Now for my under eyes, I'm going in with the Naked Weightless Skin Concealer, and then I am blending that. I'm sorry, I put the Tarte on first, didn't I? I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer first, and I am in the shade Light, I believe, and then I'm going in with the Naked Concealer on top of that. I am doing this because the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is a little bit light for my face, and it kind of has like almost like a grayish tone to it. I need to get me a different shade. And the Naked Concealer has like a little bit of a yellow tone to it, which matches my skin. So I mixed it to form my perfect shade just until I can get off my butt and go and get my right shade. But I'm using a damp Morphe sponge to blend that out, and I put that underneath the eyes, the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, the chin, and a little on the forehead. And I'm going all the way from my under eye, blending up to my temples. And then I'm going to cover it and set it with my RCMA No Color Powder. This powder is the most amazing translucent powder I have ever used. It doesn't leave a white cast on my skin. It is very, very powdery, I will say that, but that can be used to your advantage. This product is very, very easy to waste, but as long as you have it in the right container, you'll be fine. But this product goes such a long way, and that's why I say it's very powdery and it could be used to your advantage, because if you take a little bit of on your brush, a little bit of this powder, put it underneath your eye, you can literally take that little bit of powder from that one dip with your brush, go under both your eyes, your forehead, your nose, and your chin, literally, without having to dip back into your powder. So that's a good plus about it. Now I'm going to go in with my MAC bronzer, and this is the Sculpt Defining Bronzer, I believe. And this is a very weird product. I've only been using it for about 2 weeks now. It's kind of like a powder slash cream mixed together. It's very solid, but it feels like a cream. It's very weird to apply. I'm still getting used to it. But I'm using my, my M523 brush to blend this. And I'm just browning. I am just bronzing my cheekbones. I'm going up onto my forehead around my temples. I like to go ham around my temples. I don't know why, but there's just something about a good forehead bronze that I am just in love with. I usually go a little too heavy on the bronzer on my forehead, but it's okay. You'll forgive me. But I take that on the forehead. I take that on my cheekbones. I sometimes put a little bit around my chin, but not for this video because we have such a rounded eye. We don't want to make the face look too round. So, and then I put a little bit on both sides of my nose because I absolutely am so terrible when it comes to carving out my nose. I will look like I have 2 zebra stripes on my nose, so I don't do that. Now I'm going in with MakeupGeek Spellbound blush. I try to go very, very light with this blush because these blushes are so pigmented. So I literally just dip my brush in it one time, kind of tap it off a little, and then put it on both my cheeks. This blush goes such a long way, which is amazing. And it's such a beautiful, light, pinky kind of corally shade, but it's not too bright. And it went perfect with this glitter because this glitter has pink and purple reflex in it. And then I took a little bit of Rosé Spritz from the Jaclyn Hill face palette, and I put a little dab of that over my blush. And here is the funny part. I opened my Anastasia Moonchild highlighting kit, and my Lucky Clover, the whole pan just fell out. So I am going in with my purple Horseshoe highlighter, and I'm just putting that on the tops of the cheekbones with a Morphe fan brush. There's no number on this fan brush. It just came in a Morphe brush kit that I ordered a few months back. I don't usually use a fan brush. I usually use the Morphe 510 for applying highlighter, but I just felt kind of bougie with this brush, so I used it. But I put that on the tops of the cheekbones. I put that on the top of my nose, the tip of my nose. I put it down the bridge of my nose. I put a little bit on my forehead from time to time just to give me that extra glow. I put it on my cupid's bow, and I put a little bit on my chin. I really, really highlight my upper lip in this tutorial. I wanted to make sure that my face was completely highlighted for the gods and you could see me from space. I really wanted a highlighted look. And typically when I use these colored highlighters, they don't really show up on camera, which is a big bummer. But I've gotten a little more you know, playful with my boyfriend's GoPro and my Instagram, so I've kind of figured out little tricks to help my highlighter show up a little bit more in camera. So I am highlighting the heck out of my face for this tutorial, and you will see that very soon if you haven't noticed already. Now I'm filling in my brows with Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I usually use the brow definer, but I ran out, and this is what I had for backup. And I am in the shade Chocolate. I usually use the shade Taupe, but because my hair is dark now, I figured that this would match me a little bit better. I have the worst eyebrows to fill in ever. Both eyebrows are different shapes, and I'm right-handed, so when it comes to doing my left eyebrow, it usually almost never comes out the same as my right eyebrow. Did I say right or left? Okay, one or the other. They always look different. You get what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I just fill that in, and then I spoolie it out. That spoolie is my lifesaver because this chocolate shade is very, very dark on me, but I'm slowly but surely getting used to it. I'm still not used to my dark hair yet, but the more I wear it, the more I love it. I'm just going to take a little bit more of that purple horseshoe shade from the Moonchild. Oh my gosh, y'all, I am so tongue-tied in this video. Moonchild palette, and I'm just going to put a little dash of that on my brow bone, and as you will see, I take my brush, I just swipe it on there because that's where I get the most pigmentation, and then I brush it down to blend it into those shades below. Now I'm applying my lashes, and these lashes are by Flutter lashes, and they are in the style Slayla, and I just apply my glue. I always use a compact mirror because I'm not as talented at putting on lashes like that as most makeup artists are. It's never been one of my strong points, so I take them on a pair of tweezers, and I always look down into my compact mirror. I put them upwards, and I attach the end to my lid or to my lashes, and then I do the inner corner last. And you always want to make sure that when you put glue on your lashes, let it get a little bit tacky first because it always sticks better that way. And I forgot to put mascara on my lashes, so that is what I'm doing now. But I'm only doing it on my real lashes. I'm not doing it on my falsies. And next, I am going to take on a flat definer brush. This is the Morphe M432. You can take any flat definer brush that you have. It doesn't have to be this one, or just, any flat-headed brush that you have. And I am taking the darkest purple that we use on our lid from that Morphe 35B, and I am just lining my lower lash line. And then once I am finished with that, I will go back in with a Morphe, what is it? Why can I never remember the name of that brush? It's a Morphe Y2 or a Y10, I can't remember, but it's one of Morphe's new pencil brushes. It's in their gold collection, and I'm just going to take that lighter purple that we used on our lid, and I'm just going to really smoke that out. And I am taking that pencil brush, and I am literally digging it into the bottom of my lash line to really, really, really smoke that out. You don't have to do this. You can just use a natural color if you'd like. You can use a really dark color, and you can really smoke it out. You can even go lower than what I have if you really want like a really smoked out lash line. Like if you're going out for a night out, you want to do a black, and then you want to smoke a brown underneath that, you can go lower than what I'm going, or you can just keep it really tight on that lash line. Do it however you'd like. This was just a quick tutorial that I put together, and that's what I decided to do. And you can never really go too dramatic with glitter or with dramatic lashes like I have on. So now I'm just taking that L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara like I used on my top, and I am just going to put mascara on my lower lashes before I forget, because for some reason when I'm in the zone doing my makeup, I always forget to do my lower lashes. Quick little dance break. Now, while I have all those things in my eyes, as you can see, I always get makeup in my eyes when I'm filming, and it sucks. And somehow I usually always forget to take those parts out. So you get to see all of my little bloopers on camera. So now I'm just going in with the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick, Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Scorpio. I took a little bit too long on my lips this tutorial, so I had to edit this clip at least 40 times. But you have to be very, very careful with this Velour liquid lipstick, because although it is literally one of the best liquid lipsticks I have ever used in my life, it dries so quick, so it's very, very important that you take your time with it and be very precise. Get you a compact mirror, get very close in the mirror so you can see what you're doing, because like I said, it dries fast, but once it's done, it is beautiful, and it's very bold. It doesn't crack, nothing. I love it. So then I'm just gonna douse my face with some MAC Fix Plus, and that is it, guys. I hope you love this look, and thank you for watching. Bye!